What's up guys? Today we're gonna be doing a snatch analysis of Mr. Roberto's lift. Let's get right into it. Now he sent me a couple of lifts and all of them were about 90, 95, up to 100% I believe. So right away I know that fatigue could play a factor and technique is not always perfect once you get to the upper limits of what your maxes are. So I don't want to be too critical, but there are a couple habits that I've already seen in a couple of his lifts that I want to address. The first thing that I noticed is that when he initially starts a lift, his head kicks back. It's just an extra movement that is adding to an already difficult lift that I'd like for him to be able to not do. Also, at the top of his extension, he kicks his head back even further to the point where it actually looks like he's looking up at the roof. I'll show you a frame by frame video of his snatches where he's doing these things, and we'll try to come up with solutions so that he is able to be more efficient with his snatches. Okay, let's take a look at these next set of videos. I'll pause it here, we'll go frame by frame. I like his start position, and even right here, he starts flicking his head back. See, I'm going frame by frame, back and forth, and the first thing that moves is his head. What I'd like to see is that everything is locked into position, and then the first thing that moves is the barbell. I want the back angle to be the same, and him pushing the ground with his legs with the whole system rising. But the first thing that I see whenever I start this video is his head flicks back, which kind of sort of tells me that he's not fully just using his legs. It almost is like he's peeling back. But the good thing about this is that he ends up in pretty good position at his knees. Once he gets to his hips, he's in a solid power position. And in this position, you can actually see already that his head is even further back. Let's go frame by frame and see how far back he goes. Oh no, he stayed in pretty good position there. Okay. Unfortunately, he misses a lift. Okay, let's see what he does in this next rep. Let's see if he makes the corrections that I want to see. We'll go frame by frame whenever he starts. Again, 90, 95, and upward in percentages. So the technique will break down, but still there's some things that we'd like to address and possibly fix if we can. These things that he's doing is not wrong, but let's simplify the movement, make it more efficient. Okay, he is approaching the bar. Let's see what he does. Pause the video. Let's see, he's still setting up. First thing that happens, head still kind of peels back. Hold on. His eyes are closed. Let's not do that. Okay. Still a solid position. Okay, his head is really far back, like I was saying before. I want to see head straight, eyes straight. Every lift. Simplify that. Balance, posture, almost 100%. That will be better in your lifts if you could just focus directly in front of you. Okay, let's go frame by frame. Look at his toes. He's jumping forward. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just play the rest of this lift. Okay, so the pulling mechanics to me, pretty solid. I looked at this video a couple of times and what comes out to me, you know, let's go back to that lift. What pops out to me, and we'll go frame by frame, is that I initially thought he was hipping the bar out, which causes him to jump forward. That could be a reason for jumping forward, but actually, as we go frame by frame here, he's very vertical, but he's still jumping out. What could that possibly be? What I think it is the final transition for whenever he brings the barbell overhead into lockout position. What I want to see is that his elbow comes up directly. But you see in this frame even that his arm is kind of like this. So whenever the bar's here, the bar's stationary. You're not really gonna do much with it once the whole system in the air. His body's in the air right now off of the ground, and so is the barbell. So the barbell's right here. If your position is like this, the barbell's gonna stay here. Once you lock out, you have to pull yourself forward if you're like this. But maybe if he was in a position where his elbows were higher and he could curl himself down, maybe, possibly, that'll bring him straight down instead of jumping forward. So, Roberto, the next time you try snatching at lighter weights, try to focus on your elbow coming straight up so that you can go straight down. Let's see if that eliminates that jumping forward. Lost it behind. Okay. So he brings it up, I think actually the same way, he just changed plates. So let's see how this looks. Let me scoot forward just a little bit. Oh, too much. Let's go frame by frame. Okay, what's the first thing that happens? Frame by frame. The head kickback is not as bad there, but his focus, his eyes are open, his focus is directly ahead, which I like a lot. Okay, we can't see because the video cuts out on the top portion of the lift, but I think his head is looking at the ceiling. Let's see from his toes in this position. Let's see if he jumps forward. Still slightly forward, but let's look at his elbow position. Yeah, it's still pretty back. I want to see the next time you snatch, let's see if you can get those elbows a little bit more vertical and curl that wrist into lockout. Okay, so you jump forward slightly, play the rest. And you make the lift. Your eyes are focused straight ahead. I like that a lot. Okay, spoiler alert, he misses his lift. But, I paused the video, but he's fatigued. Now, normally when I'm snatching and I'm fatigued, I tend to fall back on really good habits because I'm nowhere near able to muscle the weight into bad positions. I have to stay disciplined in good positions if I'm going to make the weight. So right now he's fatigued. I know that for a fact. So let's look at how his technique looks on his very last rep. Okay, so right away, yeah, it's kind of leading with his head, but it's not drastic pullback like we've seen before. So I like this position so far. Okay, good extension. Can't see the top of his head. Okay, look where his toes are at. Let's see if he jumps forward. A little bit, not much. But let's see his elbow position. Is that why? Could be a coin flip on that one. But I think that one was the most vertical lift he had so far. I'll go ahead and reverse it, play it from the beginning, and see how it looks in full speed. To me, that looked very vertical. He just missed it. And sometimes that happens when you're tired. So Roberto, let's round it up. What I want to see, eyes focused straight ahead, head focused straight ahead. If you can, like I said before, it's not wrong. And if you make the lift with the locked out arms, it's 3 white lights on the competition stage. But I'm gonna say it again, it's a hard movement. And if we could simplify the movement and less added movements, then should be a more efficient movement. Less is more. So eyes forward, head forward. In regards to jumping forward, I wanna see elbows higher. Maybe add some tall snatches. Maybe add some no feet snatches. Maybe add them together so that we can increase the difficulty to really hammer in good movement patterns. So these are a couple of things that I think that will help you. Message me, DM me, you know you can do that, and let's see what happens. Thanks for sending in your lift. Let's get to the rating. You're doing a lot of great things, but the first thing I notice is this. Why are you closing your eyes? Guys, let's aim for consistency. Keep your eyes focused straight ahead on a particular thing. I don't care if a big booty chick is standing right in front of you. You keep looking. Another thing I noticed is that your head kicks back once you start the lift. And once you get into extension, your head kicks back even further. It's not wrong, but let's try to keep our head directly straight forward. If you do these two things, then you'll have better posture and balance in your lifts. And for that reason, sir, you get 2 out of 3 white lights.